bad. It was lightning like every 5 seconds.
This, like this, like this.
Oh, absolutely
like
the
this.
fuck not.
Should be.
What is this chair doing?
I don't know.
Get out of my
this chair. Exactly. So, all right.
I'm so freaking awkward.
Summertime love, let's get wine drunk. Show me how you do what you do.
This will be your official sync. Damn.
1, 2, 3.
Today we are with Nicky and Mr. Valencrime. And we are talking about Summertime Love, which is sort of a really cool collaborative effort between the three of us. I think this is the first time that the three of us have all been on a track. I know I've been privileged to work with both y'all separately, but this time everyone's together, and I do believe it's the start of something. We probably have a couple more, but I don't know if we want to talk about that.
I can see that.
It could be,
We won't talk about it now.
Okay. So let's give some people some insight into the birth of this song. Like, I guess, Chris, it probably starts with you.
Yeah.
I don't mind explaining that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was scouring through Splice, because generally how Splice works, as a musician, you pay $10 a month and then you forget for 3 months, and then you have 600 credits. So a MIDI file is 3 credits. Like a chord progression. So I start going through these MIDI files, and I found this one. I don't even remember, because I mean, a lot of times there's some they don't have the tempo assigned, they just have the key. You just play it to something, and I mean, I'll change the tempo. So I found that. I mean, I downloaded a few, but I found that one.
And that's that
That's the beginning. Well, I brought it into Logic, which it probably defaulted to a grand piano, and then like I'd seen you use the retro synth a little bit. And I never really tried to get too crazy into it, so I pulled it up.
Yeah.
And then I just literally made like one LFO adjustment on like the third or fourth thing that I came upon, and it was just like that sound, that sample, and I was just like, oh my god.
Did you pull the attack back on the?
I did.
Yeah, that's okay, because that gives it the. So let's listen to that real quick. I know we said we weren't gonna do.
Well, this part's like over my head. I'm just like.
Yeah, well, I think, okay, so this is the sound that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And we're just talking about the discovery of the sound.
Yeah.
So that hooks people in right away, I feel like, with this song. Something that was really cool with the way you had I think the way that you have the attack is what makes, the way that you program the attack on that retro synth for that is what made that, I think, just come out and grab people.
Yeah.
It just kind of, it's real swingy.
It's super catchy.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect
catchy.
chord progression to put something like that. And honestly, you guys were able to find something out of it and take it further, because you saw how I saw it. I saw it with more of a programmed electronic, like, how can I rap on this? Because that's just how my brain works. But ultimately, you took that, because that's what I was addicted to too, but I didn't want to overdo it. But then I realized after you pulled the sample, I was like, all right, maybe you can just use the sample the whole time. This is badass.
We did. I think the only thing added, like, from a melody standpoint to that, well, there's the bass line, but there's one other track that we worked on.
Oh, that's cool.
And that comes in on top of it, so together they make, let's see.
Yeah, it just gives it texture. The song really makes you want to turn up. There's no question. It's like low-key turn up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Mississippi in the sense of, even though it is kind of an upbeat song and it's fun and it's exciting, the tempo itself is not very fast. It's
right.
at 84. And so like the feeling of it is like upbeat, but almost like not lazy, but kind of smooth.
It's wine drunk. Like when you're wine drunk,
it's exactly what it is. It's like,
I wouldn't know about that, but
yeah, Nikki has no idea about that stuff.
No idea.
Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. We've talked some about the music behind it. Let's talk a little bit about the lyrics behind it. So y'all met. Did any of the lyrics that we have, did any of those come from the first time you heard the song? Because I know I think you just said you heard the song and then y'all proceeded to work on a different one.
Yeah, no, I think I wrote this in Hattiesburg in my stairwell one day, and I mean, it was the beginning of summer,
in your stairwell.
Yeah, in my stairwell. Yes. It's got a lot of reverb. It's beautiful. But anyways.
The perfect stairwell.
Yeah, it's wonderful. But No, I sat down and I was listening to it, and I was just like, I gotta write a summer song. Like, it's summer. I change every time summer comes around. I'm like this whole different person.
No,
so I was
I know
like,
what
I
you
have to
mean.
write about that, and I have to write about like how my relationships are different with other people there, and how I kind of like excuse my actions throughout the summer because it's summer. So
Yeah. Did the melody come separate then from the song, or did you write the melody to that?
no, I
initial
wrote it to
sample?
this.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I wrote
Cool.
it to this. Sorry, that went right over my head. I was like,
So, did I text you or did we have a pre-production session to do the other song, and then did I send it to you? I can't remember when I sent it to you.
I don't either. I mean, it was like we had first started like
Yeah.
talking about, music and stuff together, but I don't know. I can't really. You came over here to take pictures.
I think I texted it to you, yeah.
Yeah, you texted it to
Yeah.
me after that, and then I don't remember what else we were. You just wanted to come sit in on a session, and I
Yeah.
remember I played it for Shell, and I was like, I really want to do this. This is Chris's beat. So you basically just walked in on us like stealing your beat. Like,
And I was just like,
I remember telling her, I was like,
I think I'm kind of taking this. Like,
no,
no,
I
can't do
remember
it.
I remember that conversation.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because I remember thinking, as soon as I heard that bum, 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 I thought immediately summertime, and I thought those drums that are on there now, the pop, pop,
Yeah.
pop, pop, the conga thing,
Yeah.
because I was like, oh, this is a great like dancing kind of lights song, and as soon as I heard the sample, I was like, we're gonna do this, and I think Chris is gonna love it.
Yeah.
Like
I was so
amped.
worried about that. I was like, is he gonna be mad that I'm like using his beat right now? Like, what's gonna happen? Then he walked in.
and then I think you opened the door, because maybe I text her and you can't, but anyway,
Yeah.
I know that I all I said was, I've either heard this before or I made it, and it was that sample.
Yeah.
Well, you sent me that. Like, you'd been sending me a couple, like, around that time. And then you
Yeah.
sent me that one, and I was like, ooh, like, summer just started. Like, I'm getting, like, real heavy vibes from this right now. So I sat down, and I was, like, playing with it. And I remember we were going to do something with that one, but I guess we started working on a different song or something like that. But I kept having those, like, words keep coming to my, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just, like, the whole song for me is, like, a different persona. Even, like, the way I sing it. I don't know. It's like not really my normal self. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I just heard that. And
That's kind of a part of your songwriting, isn't it? Because you sort of like put yourself in a almost like in character.
yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah.
You don't fight the vibe.
No.
Yeah, no.
So that's kind of a little bit into that. Now, where did the verses come from for you for this?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like the meaning behind them, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like just how that process happened. Because I was over here, you were there. Are you?
Well, at first I thought the
You had
verse
to-
was gonna be the chorus,
Right.
The first verse,
Right.
and then kept going through it, and I'm like, no, this isn't it. And then it was like,
Because I remember the second you sang that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we knew that was it.
So did you guys y'all had already, because I showed up to the session like probably an hour and a half or 2 hours in that first, and then
Right.
you had the project pulled up with the lyrics. So was that like when the first conception of it, like that day, was that when you tracked that?
Yeah.
Like you had just tracked that before I got there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, perfect example of why you text the artist and you wait
Yeah.
for 10 or 15 minutes if you
'Cause
had
we
to.
were in the
'cause
vibe.
Y'all were
Yeah.
in the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The first verse, some of that you had.
Mm-hmm.
You said, you had already.
Yeah.
The second verse, I think we worked on here.
Yeah, we did. And
that one took a little bit longer.
Yeah,
maybe?
a little bit longer. But I mean, I don't know. I think it was just really cool. I mean, it was super broken up how we wrote it, because like
Mm-hmm.
I think I had some of the intro and verse, and it was kind of all over the place. And then we kind of sat down and talked about it like we usually do on the songs, and like, what am I actually feeling like right now? So
Right.
it was really cool to do that.
So there's two lines I think that really encapsulate the whole feeling then, which would be I think the pre-chorus going back into the chorus, the second chorus. So give me some of your hours. I'm only looking for a day or two. And that's quintessentially the feeling of the song is in those two lines, I think. Would that be accurate? Or
Yeah, I mean, the whole song is talking about something that's very temporary, and it's just like a little fling.
But it's also like there's something underlying in that that's cool, and that is the idea of like somebody gifting you their time. It's almost like you're not asking for anything other than let's just have some time together.
Let's make some memories,
Exactly.
but not over too long.
Yeah, it's like I'm
48
only
hours.
looking for a day or two, you know,
First 48.
yeah.
Yeah, no, like let's hang out for 2 days and then I'll never see you again. How about that?
Yeah, well,
but I'll
that's
always
the
have
song.
this memory.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and now it's in a song. So
Yeah.
whoever that person is,
Sorry.
It was fun while it lasted.
Sorry. That's the only time I'll say it.
It's not good enough.
Well,
it's not you. It needed to be in a song.
well, they have a song, so it's fine.
I think that's great music. Is music that like is an experience that you had, but you're telling it in a way that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
Because we ultimately all go through very similar things.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the emotion changed for you when you went from? You alluded to this earlier. When you went from like those very early sessions that we had together, where we were trying to find that comfort place for you to, I guess even really just the first time you heard yourself back from in the recording process,
Yeah.
but like working through, okay, we're gonna get into character here, or like, when we first tried some of the secret techniques like mint leaves, don't tell anyone, or different things like that. So like as it progressed, you became more and more comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that releasing is going to be that same thing for you?
Yeah,
Is that, you
I
kind of
hope
see
it
that?
is,
Yeah.
because like now, I don't know, coming in here isn't, like when I first started like coming here, it was kind of like I was super nervous. I would prepare all day. And now it's kind of like, okay, when I show up, we're going to get shit done. Like,
Yeah.
and it's going to be amazing and it's going to be fun. And I'm going to get a little therapy session with Shell too. I'll talk about my feelings.
Hey, I'll take that compliment.
It's funny you
Thank
say
you.
that.
Okay, high fives, all right.
But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. It keeps getting better and it keeps getting more therapeutic.
Yeah.
So
Music
I
is
hope,
very
I
therapeutic.
hope like releasing will get the same way and,
Mm-hmm.
Eventually performing too whenever my schedule allows it,
Yeah.
But it's exciting, like, to take this on, even though I was freaking out to you about it the other day. I was like, I don't know if I could do this, blah, blah, whatever. But, I mean, it's part of the process,
Yeah.
growing and evolving and being uncomfortable, like you said, so.
Being vulnerable and being just open to the fact that this is you. And so putting something out that you've done is staying true to who you are.
Yeah.
And almost like not making music would be lying to a big part of who you are.
Yeah.
And that's worse. Any stress that you feel like towards doing music couldn't be as bad as the stress of not doing music that would do on your life.
Yeah, you're right.
Facts.
So.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy is like we just manifested all this out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
we just create stuff. It's like you start off with just a thought or an experience, and then it becomes a tangible thing afterwards. But like you said about getting the jitters and everything, like I can totally relate to that because I'm like a completely not sung around people, but I'm also a very sociable person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the really winning people over and talking and being normal and being able to embrace that is hard, but it's like, it's the fear of the unknown that you're always like, you retract to in life that gives you anxiety. It's like before you go out to meet somebody at the bar and like you're going by yourself, or you meet somebody for a blind date, or you meet a person for the first time, or you're trying to give a good first impression. It's just like there's a lot going through your head.
I think hopefully maybe somebody who is also on the verge of releasing their first project, or maybe they'll watch this video, and I just really hope the takeaway that they get is that like the experience of being vulnerable and putting yourself out there for people to see is something that's a shared experience amongst artists, and everybody feels the nerves before doing it, and probably everybody even up at the highest level. I mean, can you imagine at the highest level it's just more pressure? It's
Yeah.
just more of an
Absolutely.
issue of are people going to love this
It's
or
just
not.
more pressure and more people.
Somebody who is a singer and a writer then working to get the music, and what that is like when you feel like it's there, or if you don't, like, have there been instances, I'm sure there have, where it's been like that's not quite right, and then you have to figure out a way to communicate that, and is there a tension?
Like with you?
Yeah, like even in our sessions, if there's been an instance where we're going a direction that's not the right direction,
Yeah.
like what does that feel like, and how do you go about talking about it?
I think that's actually one of the hardest things for me to do because obviously, I mean, I don't play instruments. I need to start working on that. I don't know a thing about production. I don't even know like what note I'm singing whenever. I just feel whatever I'm doing. So it's kind of hard, and we make up like our own words to communicate it.
Yeah.
But it works. I mean, if it's just, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. I feel like we are always kind of on the same wavelength, so we're not we don't ever get too far off. Yeah, thanks. I mean, it wouldn't be possible if, but I don't know. I just vocally, I mean, I just listen to it 1,000 times, and I'm like, okay, this part's making me cringe my ass off. Like, let me change that. Let me see how I can fix that. Or, with this last song that we did, hitting that note, at first I was like, squeaking really bad and just like getting all raspy and stuff like that. And then you just, I don't know, you kind of play with it. And
let's talk for, what time is it? Okay, for a quick second on the business, and then we're done. So let's talk about that as an artist, because I think we've got two very different ways that's being dealt with.
It's just like honestly a pain in the ass because there's so much you don't think about, like listening to songs on the radio. Like you don't know what it takes like to put it out there and for legally everything to be right. So you don't mess things up for you or for anybody else. But I mean, I kind of try to stay out of it. I mean, I need to know more about it just so for the future, like I don't get caught up in some bad stuff. But I don't know. It puts a kind of like a damper on it, especially recently, like us with the meeting and I don't know. I just want to focus on music, and you can't really do that.
You have to sort of have a foot in both a little bit today. Even if you have a strong team around you, it's important, I think, as an artist to be aware of what's going on and who's doing what. And so in your situation, you've got a team around you that's helping. I think, Chris, in your situation, you're running the ship on a lot of that.
That's correct.
But I think you kind of enjoy the business a little bit.
To a certain aspect.
Yeah, or you enjoy the creative side of the business, like the marketing side is probably something that you get into.
Well, just being able to control my own creative marketing stuff. Anything past that is like kind of over. Like that's so Thomas came over to my house earlier and we talked and about the distro kid and all kind of stuff and I just was telling him, I was like, man, I'm getting kind of overwhelmed.
Shout out to Thomas.
Shout out to T. What's up?
Cool guy. Really cool guy.
He's a good guy.
Super mediocre.
Super mediocre. I want to just create things and push things and have the platform like just ready where the thing that you do one time, it's already been done. So then it's like, here's content that I've been pushing and working on. So then I know my job is the bullet points of these things. Right. But understanding the publishing and all that kind of stuff is a lot, and it's definitely it can be overwhelming. I think it is important to know though, to know where you stand and what it means, and like, so obviously, as you know, I have tons of questions for you all the time and for other people, but ultimately I'm trying to do it all on my own, to start off with. So I'll at least won't have to do it again.
Summertime love, let's get wine drunk. Show me how you do what you do.